Welcome to the Board of Commissioners. It is January 26th, 2022. All commissioners are present. Extra agendas are on the back table and looking for comments not on this agenda. Hearing none, let's move for approval of agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Approval of the minutes of January 19th, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And approval of the consent calendar.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And next up is reclassification of employee, Matt Hawkins.
Good morning. Yes, this morning I'm here to request a reclassification of an office specialist 2 in our community corrections department. This is specifically for Sam Hiddle. We're requesting that she be reclassified to an office specialist 3. Sam's recently taken on a lot more duties within the juvenile department as we have a pending retirement of the office specialist in that position. She's also going to be going back and forth between juvenile and community corrections. Just to further back up this request, I actually did an exit interview with the person at the juvenile department. And at the end, she just mentioned, she's like, just so you know, that this is probably an office specialist 3 level position with the duties that have been given here. And she want to make it very clear that individual wasn't complaining. She was just talking about the future. So that's what we're requesting to do. It would be effective February 1st. If this had been for a full 12 months within the fiscal year, we would have an approximate increase on the budget of $3,000, including PERS contributions.
I'm good with it.
All right,
Awesome.
thank you. We'll move forward.
Resolution 2022-02, the budget modifications, Mr. Greg Henson.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, this is one of the 2 resolutions that the county does with year-end modification and or mid-year modifications. This is the mid-year modifications. This is where we adjust budget to increase appropriation authority. Myself and Caitlin have gone through the budget and identified a number of programs and or funds that need increases at this time. We will then do another year-end modification when we have further detail and at the end of the fiscal year in the end of June. So nothing surprising here. We have a lot of the regulars, one especially in the back corner. We have a small, oh, it's not our newest hire.
It's the other back corner.
It's the south or the northeast corner. So we have ONC Title III with a small modification, tax collector with a small modification, Sheriff Patrol, which is not an abnormal program, and emergency management, which is always has a mid-year and a year-end modification. Then we had 2 small transfers, one for law library, which is managed by our outstanding fiscally responsible county council, and numbers are somewhat irrelevant. And we just, we need these. So, and then veteran services, those are in the amounts of transfers. So those are actually, those transfers cause the total county budget to increase by a total of $20,000. Every other change that occurs within the fund and their operating contingencies. The other funds that have modifications are Public Works Fund, Law Library and Veterans because of the transfer, and then Management Services Fund. And then I think the last one is our insurance fund that are modified. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have, but nothing was unusual. Actually, this list is smaller than normal.
Yeah, due diligence here. So I'd like for you to run down through the 4 most significant transfers there, the first ones, and just give us a quick highlight of what the why those are.
What and the why? Emergency management is the biggest or second biggest one in the general fund. we tend to increase appropriations there. Dean has a lot of grants that flow through the department. You never can truly earmark. His budget goes like this, depending on what grants come in and when he expends those grants, because some aren't an immediate type of thing. So that's, like I said, a normal one. We will probably modify again in June. Sheriff Patrol, did it need to be that much? No, I'm just hoping to make sure I don't have to do it in June again. So I increased it that much. Usually in their case, it is overtime that causes a lot of it. Obviously, we have a lot of overtime. They are down some staff positions, but I try not to figure that in. So it's kind of where we are. You know, I could have made that transfer $100,000, but I guarantee in June I'll probably have to increase it. So I just did the lump sum here. Then in the other departments, Public Works admin, not that big. Survey is actually because one of the FTE in the engineering or in survey, one of the FTE in engineering should be being charged to survey. So we've overexpended it for the first 6 months. We're in the process of moving that position to the right budget codes. So, but they're going to need some minor adjustments for that. Central services, most of these are just minor insurance policies. Like I said, they don't change the total appropriation for the fund, with the exception of law library, which we're going to probably be about right on now, and veteran services fund, which will probably be about right on. So I don't anticipate doing many changes to law library and veterans. We will probably have some more tweaks to management services and public works fund, depending on certain projects.
Quick question, I should know this, but where are we with general fund contingency after the 395,000 reduction?
It shows in there. So you decreased general fund from $4,066,000 down to $3,671,088. It's the last item on the page, or the second page of the resolution.
Thank you.
I don't modify any of these if there are revenue increases in that, if I don't need to. This is just for pure appropriation authority, so we don't violate that part of budget law. For example, we're going to get, or we just did yesterday, the 1.68 million for broadband. We're going to stick that in economic development. I don't want to mix it with ARPA funds, even though it's ARPA funds, but it's from the state. I'm not coming to you today to increase appropriation authority. We probably have enough within EcoDevo without having to do that. So that revenue is there, but if I need it, I'll do it in a year-end modification. So you have those things that come across, especially now with how money is flowing from the federal and or the state. So right now we have a lot of appropriation authority because we had a lot of leftover money in certain funds, public health, mental health, those kind of things. If we get the 5.6 million for addictions, I still probably won't have to change appropriation authority because we won't be able to spend it that quick. So it's those kind of things, but just trying to stay within budget law. We used to only do a year-end one. Auditors frowned on that, so now we do it twice a year to be in a little more compliant.
We need a motion to accept this.
Happy to give you one, sir. I move that we approve resolution 22-02 in the matter of increasing appropriations, transferring appropriations within multiple funds for fiscal year 21-22.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Resolution passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a need for an executive session today?
None for me, sir.
We're adjourned.